yes?
Yes, yes, yes!
Okay, so all week we've been talking about character traits, and we know the difference between character emotions and how a character feels throughout the story. But then we can decide the character traits, which is more about the personality of the character and how the character behaves usually, right?
Yes.
Next week we're going to start talking about one of my favorites, main idea. And we know main idea, what the
Story's all about. The details, tell me more about the story.
and I can't wait to get that. But we're going to finish out strong with character traits with a super fun activity. We started it earlier on in the day. We prepped our interactive notebooks for this activity, correct?
Yes.
So I have this super fun story. While I read the story, we're going to talk about the character traits that this character right here goes through. And can the character traits also change? Can they change throughout the story? Yeah, because the character goes through different experiences throughout the story that might change their minds. Okay? What I want you to do, you have 5 seconds, take out your reading interactive notebook. Blue, 5, 4, Rihanna's ready, 3, 2, London's ready, 1. So we found this nifty chart, right?
Yes.
And the nifty chart has feelings along the top, feelings that we already know, and it's really easy to decide when a character's mean and sad and acting nice. But we have synonyms that make our conclusions that we draw about what traits they are easier and more specific, because a character can be nice, but they can be really loving at the time. So we're more specific with what we choose, right?
Yes.
Say you're welcome. Say thank you, Miss Reed.
Thank you.
I gave you your own because I want you to have this, and we'll be referring to this throughout the year when we want to talk more in depth about a character, okay? So you have your own. So while we talk, I want you to be looking at this, and while I read, I want you to look at this and try to decide the character traits that the character is going through. You ready?
Yes.
Here it goes. The title of this story is Julius, the Baby of the World by Kevin Hanks. Okay?
Okay.
I see Jalen tracking me. It's awesome. These are for the baby. Here is Lily, and she has gifts for the baby. Before Julius was born, Lily was the best big sister in the world. She gave him things, she told him secrets, and she sang lullabies to him every night. Look at your charts. What kind of character is Lily right now? What kind of traits can we decide she is right now? Tatiana? Nice, right? So that's good. That's a great start. I'm agreeing with you that it's nice. She's being real nice as a big sister. Is Julius born yet? No, Julius isn't born yet. Let's dig deeper. Let's upgrade nice to one of those synonyms, right? Mayana, what do you think?
Caring.
Caring. I like caring. What else? I agree. London?
Loving.
Woo, loving. Caring, loving. I love both of those. Open up your book to that character trait graphic organizer that we prepped earlier. This is how this is going to work, right? So we all have this part, right? Yeah. So the way this graphic organizer works is that you just need to put Lily in the character space. Do that now. Lilly. That's our character that we're analyzing. Lilly. Okay? And then in different moments in the story, we're going to stop. We're going to put the character traits that we decide the character is portraying right now, right here in this box. Okay? And then we're going to put the evidence behind the flap. Okay?
Okay.
So our first traits, Mayana shared loving.
No, I didn't.
Loving, caring. Let's put both of those. Okay? Loving and caring in the first character trait box. Loving, caring. Why do we think that? What's the evidence that we can take? What's the evidence? What are some things that Lily was doing? Darius?
The thing that Lily was doing to do the character trait is that she was like doing ththings for her little brother, and even though he wasn't born yet.
You said doing things. I agree, but let's be more specific. What kind of things was she doing?
She was telling them things
Telling him secrets. Okay, what else?
and gave him things.
She gave him things. So that's both evidence for her being a really loving sister. Flip back. All you need to do is bend this back. Eyes. All you need to do, see that dotted line? We're just going to bend that back. And that is where you'll write your evidence, okay? Bend that back. Write your evidence there. Quickly, quickly. Just a quick jot. I'm not worried about complete sentences right now. We're really just trying to get our thoughts out. There'll be a time later that we'll write these out, but we just want all of our thoughts down quickly. Darius gave us 2 great evidence points to use. When you're done writing those 2 points, those examples, those key examples on how Lily is being a loving, caring character, your eyes are back on me and you're in learner's position. Now I'm ready to move on. Mackenzie is ready. 10 seconds to wrap up. Jalen's ready. So is Shanae. So is James. So is Keviana. Okay, I'm moving on. After Julius was born, it was a different story. Lily took her things back. She pinched his tail, and she yelled insulting comments into his crib. "I am the queen," said Lily, "and I hate Julius." Now I want peanut butter and tail jelly because something has changed. Something huge has changed, right? I want peanut butter to tell jelly. Something you notice. Compare and contrast Lily from the beginning of the story, the page before, to now. Peanut butter, tell jelly. Teach, teach.
Okay. She was all nice and pleasant.
Even though it's not on, I'm going to say she feels jealous.
Well, if you feel jealous, that means that you are jealous of something else happening.
I mean, impolite, because...
Impolite?
Yeah, because when my little nephew was born, I was kind of impolite, but I soon got used to him, even when he pulled my hair on the picture.
Okay, so you're saying when your baby...
Nephew.
Oh, when your nephew was born, it takes a while to get used to him, right? So you might have been impolite at first, but then you had to get used to him. Awesome job. Okay, let's move on. I want you to look. Actually, you could close your book right now because I don't want you to get distracted. We'll add our next trait in a moment. Okay. But her parents loved him. They kissed his wet pink nose. They admired his small black eyes, and they stroked his sweet white fur. Lily thought his wet pink nose was slimy. She thought his small black eyes were beady. And she thought his sweet white fur was not so sweet, especially when he needed his diaper changed. "Julius is the baby of the world," chimed Lily's parents. "Disgusting," said Lily. Lily had to share her room with Julius. After Julius goes away, do I get my room back? She asked. "Julius isn't going anywhere," said Lily's mother, and he didn't. He stayed and stayed and stayed. Lily was supposed to be very quiet while Julius slept. After Julius goes away, "Can I talk like a normal person again?" she shouted. "Julius isn't going anywhere," said Lily's father, and he didn't. He stayed, and he stayed, and he stayed. What character trait can we use to describe Lily now? Because she doesn't seem to want him to be around still. Mackenzie, what do you think? Cruel. What else? Jalen?
Hateful.
Hateful. I'm feeling that too. I'm feeling that. What else? Mayana? Impatient. Now, when you ask questions like, is he going to leave now? Can I get my room back when he leaves? Impatient is a really good one. Yes. Evil. What if I always want to keep things to myself? There's one I'm looking for in particular. Keviana?
Selfish.
Woo, selfish, okay? Let's add one more trait. Add a trait for how Lily is behaving now. Your next box. Your next box. From what I can tell already, Lily has changed quite a bit. Once you have your trait, use some evidence. Think back to some things that she did that explain why you know she's acting that way now. Back it up. Back it up. I'm seeing even some more ideas as I walk around. That's great. Remember, I don't need you to write in full sentences yet until we get to the writing activity. Just quickly jot, because we have a whole story to get through. Just quickly jot. So what? Who? Oh. London's finished. So it's Darius. You can go ahead and just close your book. I don't mind. Doesn't take us a long time to find the page. Trey's ready to move on. Let's quickly move. So is Jalen. So is Tatiana. So is Caleb. 5 seconds. Finish up your last thought. And eyes. We want Julius to grow up to be as extraordinary as you, said Lily's mother. So we must tell him constantly how beautiful he is and how much we love him. When no one was looking, Lily had her own idea. This is her parents. They said, "We love you, Julius. You are beautiful, Julius." Here is Lily. She said, "I hate you." Class?
Yes.
We want Julius to grow up to be as clever as you, said Lily's father. So we must sing him his numbers and his letters whenever possible. When no one was looking, Lily had her own idea. Here's her parents, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Here's the mom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here's Lily. 3, 8, 1, 5, 9, 6. A, J, K, Z, B, S, C, H. Why is Lily saying her letters and her numbers like that? Jalen, what do you think?
I think she's saying her letters and her numbers like that so the baby could do it too and get mixed up.
Oh, yeah, she's trying to mix him up on purpose. She's still behaving in a not so kind way, correct?
Yes.
When I read this story earlier before, as soon as I got to this part, it reminded me of another story that we read very recently. It reminded me of another character that we read about recently. Tell me, oh actually, Jelly, tell Peanut Butter what it reminds you of. Teach.
Okay.
That's good. Class.
Yes.
I've been shocked. Because in my mind, when I asked you that question, I already had an answer in mind. I kind of knew what we were going with. But then I came over here to this group over here, and they completely refreshed my memory on a story that I had completely forgot that we even started. So Darius, share with me what Trey was explaining to you.
Trey was explaining to me that he remembered the story that when Judy Moody, she went to the store with Rocky, and she didn't want her brother to come, and so when he found the rock, she thought her and Rocky thought it was a moon rock, and him, so she smashed it, and then he went back into the house and started selling it, and then he got more money than her.
I completely forgot about that story. Amazing. Because not only hold on. I was thinking about a more recent story, but that's an even stronger connection because that is a character who was treating her younger brother in a not so nice way, just like this story. So that 100% I know you guys are thinking about kind of what I was thinking before, right, Shamaya?
I would say Cardigan Jones, cause all the people were being mean to Cardigan when they thought that he stole the pie.
Another one I wasn't even thinking of. Absolutely, James.
Horrible Harry.
What's the connection with Horrible Harry?
He was being mean about the rocks from the door. He said, "Those look like fake rocks."
Whoa, okay, so Horrible Harry, that's another connection. You guys are still surprising me with all these other stories that I was not even thinking about. Yes. Okay, let's move on, because I want to know what happens next. Lily's parents were more than a bit doubtful about leaving the two of them alone together. Lily tried to frighten Julius with her nifty disguises. She learned magic and tried to make him disappear. When that didn't work, she simply pretended he didn't exist. Lily spent more time than usual in the uncooperative chair. What might that word actually, doubtful. What might doubtful mean? Let's use the context clues that we hear in that sentence. Lily's parents were more than a bit doubtful about leaving the two of them alone together. What can we use based on those context clues, Jasmine?
I think you can get from that is doubtful means you think you can leave them alone and that she can
Lily's parents were more than a bit doubtful about leaving the two of them alone together.
they didn't think they could trust her.
Right, they don't think they can trust her. Are they sure or unsure?
Unsure.
Unsure, exactly. So then it said Lily spent more time than usual in the uncooperative chair. Okay? So what might that word uncooperative mean? Caleb?
I think it means mean chair. Like she's starting to get mean.
So let's break this down. When I say I want you to cooperate, what does that mean? What do I want you to do? Call on someone for assistance. 5, 4, 3.
Cooperate means to work together.
Right, absolutely, work together. So we learned, this is like distracting me here. So we learned to work together. So we learned prefixes, right?
Yes.
So the prefix un means what?
Not.
So to not work together, right? So we have cooperate, not work together. So she's in a chair when she is not quite getting along with everyone else, correct?
Yes.
Let's read on. Lily's parents showered her with hugs and kisses and treats of all shapes and sizes. They even let her stay up 15 minutes later every night. It didn't matter. Nothing worked. Why is Lily's parents giving her new things? Letting her do new things? Does she deserve this right now?
No.
Why? What's her parents' idea right now? What are her parents thinking? Mackenzie?
She is thinking that they are doing that because they think that might be nicer to him because that they are giving them stuff, so they want her to be nice to him.
Right, and he agrees. Mackenzie is saying they think that she'll start being nice to him if they start giving her things. We call that bribing. When you give someone something in order to get something in return, they're kind of bribing her with these new things. Hopefully she'll be able to move. But Lily said, I am the queen. I hate Julius. Did it work? No. But her parents loved him. They kissed his wet pink nose. They admired his small black eyes. And they stroked his sweet white fur. Julius is the baby of the world, chimed Lily's parents. Disgusting, said Lily. Lily's parents were amused when Julius blew a bubble. Can you believe it? They exclaimed. But if Lily did the exact same thing, they said, Lily, let's mind our manners, please.